it's always hard with being a creator and having creative control and those sorts of battles. Like, is what I create authentically mine still? Do I still see my voice? There's a lot of voices going on inside and outside of my head of people telling me what I should and should not be sharing in public. And
I don't feel like I belong. I still don't feel like I belong.
Being chastised for being too emotional.
It's a lot to deal with. I don't feel appreciated
Getting
ever.
all of this noise about how young I am.
Have been going to the feeling doctor okay today. When I've had panic attacks, that's actually since also January. Complemented by accelerated heart rate and breathing. So trying stressful in terms of that's not good. I trust too easily. Health you want to share my experience, my stories, but it's also if you display your whole life for the world to see and reveal your vulnerabilities, that some people might manipulate and take advantage of that. So I don't really want to make this video, but I know that I have to because it's just something I need to do. And I don't even know where to start. I have pages and pages of just reflections. I've tried to write and rewrite this a million times. So you saw clips from my Harry Potter therapy series, and I've been trying for the past year and some time now to make chapter 3 of Harry Potter therapy, but I just, for whatever reason, or several reasons, cannot do it. And so I've been thinking about that a lot, and I've been reflecting as we're entering the month of November in 2020, the best year of anyone's life. No, really, 2020 has been a ride. So I started thinking about this a lot because I realized that I haven't left a 5-mile radius of my house since the month of February. There's lots of reasons, lots of stuff tied to that, and so basically, I guess I've said this before, I've made obnoxious statements on Twitter. I've taken a break from Twitter for about a week, so I guess not really that big of a break. But when lockdowns and the pandemic started, basically I had to confront myself. And like the title of this video about dementors and boggarts, that's something tough to deal with, is that there's nothing for me to do. I can try to distract myself all I want by making videos, doing live streams, or just, being on the internet. But at a certain point, you just have to confront the things that perhaps you might have been avoiding for a long time. And it's funny because I've also been planning out. So chapter 4 of Harry Potter therapy is about avoidance. So I know that I know that I'm dealing with these things, but to try to be creative with it or to try to tell my personal story, it's just very, very messy and complicated. And it's not disconnected from just my whole growth from the time that Wizards Unite launched to now. So what I've done as a content creator and how I've grown Wizard PhD. So there's a lot to unpack, and I've been doing that in private. I've definitely learned to delineate a more strict boundary between public and private. I blur that boundary all the time, but it is one of the lessons that I quickly learned with this channel. Also, I'm just going to interrupt myself here and say if you don't care about my personal life or feelings or anything of that nature, it's okay to just click off the video. You'll see more Wizards Unite content later, but thanks for stopping by. I don't remember exactly when this happened, but there was a moment in the beginning, it was during my spring semester when I was like, it has to change. I can't be online anymore. And so I basically had to change the way that I consume content as an academic, as a professor in real life. Like, basically what I did was I was searching all over to find different frameworks, different theories that explained the phenomenon I was experiencing. And I know that some people study influencers, but I know that I would be really critical of that kind of work, to be honest, because, you don't really understand unless you are one and you go through it. But I get it. So I've been looking at broader, like, psychological theories or different kinds of, I've been looking at like leadership or self-improvement type resources. And I've tried, and I've been making progress of actually paying attention to myself and trying to figure out, okay, this is what I'm good at, this is where I want to go with it. And something that I'm in this mentoring program, I've mentioned this on live stream before, where I had to take a Clifton Strengths assessment. So there's 34 strengths, and everyone has strengths in all 34 of these elements, but your top strengths are things that you might consider investing in because you're already inclined or have strengths in those areas. If you devote time and sustain that, then you can soar with it. And so my top 5 strengths are intellection, input, empathy, maximizer, and connectedness. And I have those memorized because I've had to look at what those strengths are, what it brings to the table, and then shadow sides or things that are detrimental about any of those. So I'm gonna just pull out empathy real quick. So empathy is something that I have always known that has been one of my strengths. And so what that means is that I am very sensitive to people's feelings or processing people's feelings. And so we'll take that. Intellection is basically like, I like to study things, I like to understand. It's like, I don't know, it sounds so classic academic to me, but I like to explore and think, basically. And that's where I get energy from. Input is somewhat like a collection, so I like to gather, perhaps hoard. I think the thing I like to gather and hoard are ideas, so this is probably why I was searching for different kinds of frameworks and theories, or why I care about all these little minute details in Harry Potter Wizards Unite. I just like to collect ideas. Maximizer, I like to take something good and make it superb, so I am never satisfied, which we'll get to in a second. And then connectedness is that I find connections among all sorts of things, even things that might not seem like they are connected. So for some of my earlier theory videos where it was just kind of like, for example, I looked at the Trevor Noah interview with Edward Snowden and connected it to Wizards Unite as a possible critique on surveillance society. Like, making connection, my brain just does this. I don't know why, it just does. I like to make connections, I like to study things, I like to, think about the world. That is me in a nutshell. So basically, the more that I was thinking about this, the more I've realized that me existing in social media was like deactivating all of my strengths. Like, I couldn't really think about things deeply because things are ridiculous, especially on Twitter. Twitter's where I am guilty of spending my most amount of time just mindlessly wandering about. input, the kind of input that social media platforms often reward are competitiveness, things that are just like ugly or putting down people, clickbait, all this sort of stuff. We know, we're on social media, lots of us are at least. So inputting, if that's like most of my input from day to day, you can see how that connected with my empathy, where I'm thinking about people's feelings or actually being affected by all of the emotion that's out in that digital space. You can see where I'm going here, right? Like it's just, I don't know, there's something about it where I get overwhelmed and just frozen. Like I can't do anything and it's not productive for me. So, why am I saying all this? I don't know. This is just me over-explaining the decision that I have decided, is that I think that for the month of November, I can't be making any videos. And part of that is that I need a break. I've been working on myself privately, so I've been looking at Clifton Strengths, my own Clifton Strengths. I also went through this self-coaching training where basically it's like a series of things to think through. So you have circumstances, there are things that you cannot change, there are things that are facts, or events that happen. You can't change the circumstance, but you can change. So what follows is you have thoughts about the circumstance. Following your thoughts, you have feelings that result in actions and results. So if you can change the way you think about a circumstance, then that directly affects how you feel about it, and that affects how you react, the actions that you take, and the results that follow. So, like I said, I've actively been working on myself because I know that here's my maximizer. I'm not thriving, I think, in ways that I could be. And so I just need to like take a step back and think and figure out and just do different things for a second. So basically, I am locking myself out of all my social media accounts. I will be live streaming. I do enjoy the live streams. It is something that I feel I really enjoy because there is a connectedness in terms of community. So I will do live streams, but I will not promote them. I will not do any promotion of any sort of kind in the month of November. So if you want to show up and hang out on the live stream, you are welcome to hang out with me. You can subscribe or follow if you want to get the notifications. You can share the notifications if you want or the links, but I'm not doing that. You don't have to do any of that, by the way. I'm not asking anyone to do anything for me, but I'm just letting y'all know that I need to do this for a month and I need to see how it feels and I need to see what I figure out from that. And I know it's like anti everything that's in Influencer 101 and all these like advice things for how to be a YouTuber and whatever, but honestly, I don't care because I can't do this. I can't keep doing this. And it's kind of frustrating because I feel like I look around and it doesn't seem like people are as impacted by social media like I am. Maybe I'm wrong. I think that I'm wrong. But it sucks to feel like you're the only person going through something like this. And so I think that's why I'm making this video. But I think I'm going to turn the comments off on this video because there's too much input coming at me with from all sorts of directions, like good and bad, critique and just randomness and like bots and stuff. And I'm just like, it's too much at this moment on top of everything else that I've just been trying to work through. And so I think that's why I wanted to make this video and call it, or really to connect it to dementors and boggarts, because it's part of this overall thing. It contributes to my anxiety. It really accelerates bouts of depression. And I need to deal with it and not avoid it. Like I'm doing my best, and that's something else that I've been reminding myself is that I'm doing my best, but we'll see what happens with Wizard PhD. I do want to continue the things that I planned for the month of December on the channel, so hopefully I'll be back for those things, and then we'll see what happens in the year 2021. But Thanks so much for listening to me, and sorry if the intro clip spooked you out. I don't think I posted that publicly. I did share that as an unlisted link. I made that last year, and honestly, that that was well over a year ago. So I know that I've been dealing with this for a very long time now, and not feeling like I've made substantial progress. So I'm gonna try this month of November to disconnect, and yeah, I guess I'll see y'all in live or on Discord. I'll keep Discord open. I don't know. We'll see. I'll try to limit myself.